relating to the massage that we're going to look at today, Ayurvedic and holistic inspired massage work that we've been doing here at Yoga My Life. So let's have a little look. Just to start with, my background is, I've got a long background, but I'll try to keep it succinct. I'm a Drew yoga therapist, a yin yoga teacher, a specialist children's teacher, my Master of Educations in Training and Development, and I've been working in the field of looking at well, my passion, if you like, is how to enable people to access health opportunities and challenge health inequalities. So I worked for over, well, many years in the field of community development, social enterprise. And as during that journey, if you like, I tapped into yoga for personal reasons, for myself. And what was happening at that time in my life, so we're talking, oh gosh, so let's have a look. I'm coming up to my 56th birthday. So we're talking 30 years ago. I was a person that was very physically active, doing lots of voluntary work, lots of community work and so on. And during that busy time, I was trying to do working full time and trying to do a Master of Education in training. During a time frame of about 5 years, my father had a series of heart attacks, and they were fairly regular, and he had 5 heart attacks before he passed away. And I was using yoga as a mechanism to take care of myself, if you like, a place where I could go and just cope with that kind of ongoing stress. And it was then that my yoga teacher would use me very practically to demonstrate poses, encouraged me to train in the field of yoga. Reluctantly, I did. But even at that point, I was still thinking in terms of just for myself. It wasn't about wanting to teach or share the knowledge or exchange ideas or anything particularly. And what I found was that during that time, I decided that actually some of this is so beneficial that I'm learning this late. And I thought to myself about, well, wouldn't it be wonderful to actually teach children some of these techniques? And one of the things I came across very quickly was the fact that an awful lot of children don't get access simply because of their parents can't afford to pay for access. They're living on the wrong side of the city, perhaps. There isn't the provision and so on. And that really sort of rattled my cage a little bit in terms of health inequalities. So I set up an organization, a social enterprise, not for profit. And I decided, this is around 2007-8, I decided to write a series of training programs which would enable places where people naturally accessed to be able to use some of this yoga. So I worked with things like all the day nurseries, the schools. I worked with age concern. I trained up health conditions, worked with the local authority, NHS, and so on. And what we did was my training programs equipped people within those settings to then share those techniques so that it widened access. And in 2008, I live in Sheffield, in the UK. And in 2008, I won the Best Startup Social Enterprise for Sheffield in the Yorkshire and Humberside Social Enterprise Awards. So that was an interesting moment in time, writing training programs, getting them into organisations and seeing real change and benefit. As time went on, a lot of these organisations that would have had access to funding lost their funding. So then it became, it would be a wonderful thing to do, but we need to prioritise other things first. So I moved on a little bit with that. And fast forwarding a little bit, having children and all the rest of it, moving on, I realised I got very busy with work, very busy with children. And it almost feels like 15, 20 years has passed fairly quickly. And in that time frame, I noticed that I myself was not taking as much care of me. And it dawned on me that speaking particularly to women, and it also applies to men, but speaking particularly to women, that they were finding themselves at the bottom of their to-do list, if you like. It was taking care of everybody else and anyone else and anything else first and foremost. So that really struck me. And in 2018, what happened, it was quite an interesting time for me. I lost my mother abruptly and suddenly and unexpectedly. And at that time, I was in the process of setting up a yoga studio. And I really, instead of taking time to step back and really take time to grieve, I decided that I was going to focus on helping other people. So I got very busy with, running numerous yoga sessions, workshops, trainings, and so on. And the lesson I learned, and it was a lesson, a life lesson, was that actually, if sometimes you need to take a dose of your own medicine. And I realized that if I didn't step back and start taking care of myself in a meaningful way, I wasn't going to be much use to anybody else. And I think anybody that works within a therapeutic role will understand this, where we do get embroiled with taking care of everyone else, and we'll do our utmost to help where we can. But that often leaves us depleted, leaves us feeling not having the energy to function fully and wholly. So I really started thinking then at that time about things like, well, what is health? How are we defining health? Often health in a general view is viewed as the absence of disease. But actually, if you think of it from an Ayurvedic, holistic yoga therapeutic perspective, then it's the absence of having a vibrant life, of living fully and wholly and present. And that really stuck with me, that idea. And then what happened was COVID, as we all know. And there are pluses and minuses in everything in life. And for me, it came at a time that afforded me the opportunity to step back and really start thinking about this idea. So for 2 years, I actually put a lot of energy into thinking about, well, how can you dip in and out of health opportunities as part of your natural daily life? When I first trained in yoga, I wrote down, a routine for myself, which was actually waking up, doing massage, self-massage, self-care, eating correctly, doing, an hour and 15 minutes of yoga, meditation, etc., etc. And I came to the conclusion I needed 2 full hours every morning to be able to fulfill this idea of living this life. And it wasn't attainable at all. And I thought to myself, well, actually, think a bit differently. How could you in your day dip in and out in a meaningful way and just take 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there to actually integrate health and well-being into your day-to-day life, so it becomes something that actually just peps you up, revitalizes you, helps you change your mindset perhaps. And if you just observe yourself throughout the course of your day, you will notice that your energy levels dip, they rise. You'll notice that your breathing changes throughout the course of your day. You will notice your self-talk, very particularly, can change moment to moment throughout the course of your day. So I got talking to women and men about what kind of routines and rituals that they had throughout their days. And one of the things that struck me was the kind of language that we're using, our self-talk language. So even just standing there talking to people, I would find that people would say, yeah, I'm using this, I've bought this £80 cream and it's going to do this and this for me. And I'd watch them and they'd use this cream, and it was kind of interesting to me because even whilst they were using the cream, they would be saying negative things to themselves. Oh, there's another wrinkle, or there's another grey hair, or there's this, that, and the other, whatever it was that was bothering them. And I was thinking, well, it's almost, it's not congruent. You've got these two separate things, and you're not actually comfortable at all in what you're doing or saying or being. So that's when I spent 2 years, and I decided myself that I was going to focus around the value of affirmations. and the use within self-care rituals. So I decided specifically to focus on and think, well, everybody every day washes their face at least once, hopefully more than once. You wash your hands, you shower, you may apply some products to your face. And I was thinking, well, actually, surely there are opportunities, because often we're looking in a mirror and we are looking at ourselves. So how could you reflect positively back to yourself when you're using your skincare products? They might be in your cabinet, there might be, you know, things that you know work for you. So I spent 2 years developing a 100% natural vegan skincare line, which incorporates affirmations, mantras, meaningful quotes, so that as you're using the products, you're actually saying these things to yourself, but you're saying these positive words to yourselves. They're not unattainable words. They are achievable. They set your tone for your day. You can finish your day at the end of the day when you're getting ready for bed or wherever. You can again use these products and these affirmations. So you're starting and finishing your day, and perhaps then dipping in and out with some of the other self-care practices that we have. So very specifically on our website, you will find obviously all the products. You will also find 5-minute yoga techniques and self-care practices that you can just dip in and out of, just to break up your day. And especially with working from home, I'm finding that people are working longer hours, they are working harder, they're not having the breaks perhaps that they might have naturally had at work, or the interruptions even. And there's this ongoing pressure to perform at a certain level or be a certain thing. The compounding factor in all of this is all of the other messages that we're receiving about not quite looking a certain way, not quite being enough, not quite living life the way that someone else is asking us to live, all of which is actually quite negative. And I'm really, my real passion is about empowering individuals, empowering ourselves to take some control back and actually think about, well, what can I do that works for me? What can I do throughout the course of my day that actually helps sustain me, that helps me function optimally? And obviously there's various aspects to this. But today I just wanted to kind of focus on our side of the business that's about the whole skincare range and the massages. I'm going to get you to do a little massage today, a self-care face massage that won't take more than 5 minutes to do. But I thought I would just talk a little bit about the products and what they're focused on. So the massage that I wanted to talk about today, we have several massages and they are linked directly to the products as well. So this is where the IPHM connection comes in, if you like. It's to offer that training opportunity online to IPHM members. So you can access the training and you can immediately start using those products as part of beauty or skincare treatments that you might be offering. It might be that you want to stock our range. It might be that you want to share self-care practices and empower your clients a little bit to take that control for themselves in between treatments. So I'll run through some of our trainings, but what I thought specifically was that what's interesting and unique about our training programs is that we've not only developed this vegan skincare line, we've actually gone on to develop training programs that are essentially yoga, Ayurvedic, holistic wellbeing programs, incorporating the use of the Marma points. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Marma points, but the word Marma itself, it means sensitive or vulnerable area. And the Marma points, if you like, are equivalent to, not exactly, the acupressure points within the Chinese system. There are over 200 Marma points in the body. Some say that there are 107, 108 of these Marma points that are considered the primary Marma points. Some of them are very small and some of them are quite large, these anatomical regions. And the Marma points are where you have a concentration, if you like, of prana. You might want to call it chi or ki energy or life force, whatever you want to call it. But this is where the yogic and the Ayurvedic aspect comes in. So really, by stimulating these Marma points, you have a real opportunity to really unleash your flow of energy, to actually improve your health and well-being. And Marma points are worked in very specific ways. And the sites are located at various points. So in the limbs, you've got about 11 Marma points that we know of, the trunk 26. In the head and neck, there are 37, and in the remainder of the body, about 33. So if you're familiar with things like reflexology, head massage, face massage, then you will be aware that you are stimulating Marma points. You may not be doing it consciously, but you will be doing it as part of your massage. Maybe not for as long as is required in Marma point massage, but certainly you will be working them. What I wanted to touch on was the fact that in terms of the benefit of face massage, then obviously you're looking at the microcirculation in the facial muscles, the toning, the encouraging of the lymph flow, and so on and so forth. You're also decongesting, so people that suffer a lot with things like sinus problems, migraines, and so on, then obviously working through these areas really beneficial. The other aspect of working with the massages that we've created are that they incorporate face yoga techniques as well. And I know at the moment face yoga seems to be everywhere and there are lots of people talking about it, but rather than actually teaching hundreds of techniques, we're interested in picking on the ones that actually really make a difference, a significant difference. So we're incorporating quality skincare with face massage, with Marma point stimulation, with yoga, face yoga techniques. So it's kind of quite a nice little package, if you like. In terms of some of the other aspects today, I wanted to just show you our skincare range. The oil I'm going to specifically work with is our actual Afterglow. Our range is called Afterglow, our Replenish and Repair Night Oil. Now, I hope you can see this. I'm holding it up so you get an idea. So all of our products actually have an affirmation on them. So each product, as you're using it, has an affirmation on it. So starting with your cleansing the face. So we do have our own facial cleanser. So you can see all this on the website, but I'll just show you quickly so you know what you're looking at. We have our toner, and that's a really nice toner actually. I'll talk about ingredients and stuff so you get an idea of the quality of the products. Moisturizer. So we've got 5 face products, and then we've actually got, I'll show you in a sec. So that's our facial polish. So that's really nice for sort of renewing and encouraging, getting rid of old skin. And then our face oil, which I'll be using in a sec. On top of that, we've got a couple of face masks. So one is our a brightening mask, which is a peel-off mask. You can have a look at that one. And the other one is our organic cocoa face mask. So again, if you've ever worked with cocoa, you'll know it's full of all sorts of antioxidants, really good for the skin. And so they're the sort of facial products, but some of the massages also link, because I like working with products that offer a thermal benefit as well. So with massage, obviously warmth is really useful. So we developed some massage pouring candles, and we have 3 of those in our range, in the Afterglow range anyway. So we have got our feet first, so that's that one. look at that one. We have got our other one, which is our body and soul one, which is a lovely one. Okay, so all of these have got argan oil in, along with lots of other goodies in there. And then we've got this one, we call that hair affair. So that can be used for a hair treatment as well as a head massage. So the 3 candles are, you can use them interchangeably. So if you prefer the aromas of one, then feel free to use that one and swap it with another one. So there's not a problem with that. The other aspect of it is that we were aware, and this is a message that I do try to get across, and I think it's an important message. There are messages out there about drinking 2 liters of water every day, and people are just gulping copious amounts of water, which is just coming out the other end. Our view here is very strongly that you should be sipping water throughout your day. You shouldn't be gulping huge amounts of water in any one sitting. Your body isn't going to use it. You're going to find that you'll be, urinating a lot. So your best bet, if you're wanting to hydrate, is to just keep sipping throughout your day. On that basis, I really thought about the whole, because one of the other aspects of what we were interested in was actually contributing to the whole thing about no waste, no plastic, and so on. So we devised and developed our own bottles, which are, I'll show you an idea of this is our acquainted range, and they've got affirmations on and mantras on. This one's the thirst range. And on this one, it says that the primary indicator of your body's need for water and your soul's desire for knowledge. So again, it's kind of touching on more than one thing. And that's something I think is quite a powerful message for people to think about. Not waste, reusable, really thinking about how you're using products and why you're using them. One other aspect is all our products are in glass. They're in dark bottles, so you're not denaturing any of the oils, and the ingredients are being saved, if you like, in there. They're being looked after properly. Right, so I think it will be a nice time. I mean, I'm happy to talk a bit more about some of these other aspects. In terms of our facial oil, our Afterglow facial oil, one of the main ingredients in that is oryzanol. And oryzanol or rice bran oil is one of the oils that was used frequently throughout Japan, Far East. And it's almost like, no, it's not one of their trade secrets, but it's a good one. The squalene, the fatty acids in it, the vitamin E, and it's really, really nourishing. Now, even though we've called this a replenish and repair night oil, lots of our customers are using it in the morning as well. So it's because it's not, it doesn't leave any kind of oily residue on the skin. It's being absorbed. They're finding that it's a really good base after their cleanser and toner. So they're moisturizing and doing a short massage in the morning as well as the evening, which is brilliant actually to see. So some of the other oils in there, it's a lovely blend. There's rosewood, neroli, sweet orange, sweet almond, wheat germ, palmarosa, hoewood, starflower, and mandarin peel oils. So all have various attributes, but it's a lovely blend to try. Okay, so I think now would be a good time to do a short massage, and then I'll tell you a bit about our training programs and what else we're offering. So I'm just going to take a little sip of water, since I'm an advocate of sipping water. So what I would say is, whenever you're going to massage your face, you want to have clean hands, you want to have a clean face. And then in terms, if you want to join in now's the time to join in. A good starting point actually is to connect to your breath. So just for yourself, just close your eyes, just for a moment, close your eyes and really connect deeply to your inhalation and exhalation. Just be aware of what's going on with your in-breath and out-breath. Where are you at? Notice the kind of thoughts that are coming and going as you're breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. And just really try to steady the breath. Really think of that inhalation as bringing energy into the body, and the exhalation as allowing that release, that letting go. The breath really is powerful. And then what I'd invite you to do is to start to rub your hands before you've applied any product. Just really give your hands a good rub. Just warm those hands up. And start to think about the energy moving into your hands as you're breathing in and breathing out, nice and calm. Continue with that in-breath and out-breath. Wonderful. Really nice. And I want you to think about taking that energy into the palm of your hands and into your fingers. Lovely. You can hear that rubbing that I'm doing there with my hands. Nice. Okay. And then you're going to take your oil. So if you, or oil or massage cream, whatever you've got handy, I'd like you just to place a few drops, is all you need. So I'm just doing that now, using my pipette here to do that. You'll notice that as I do this massage, my skin may become quite warm and red, which is fine. That's a good sign. That's part of the circulation. So just rubbing your fingers, okay? To start with, if you just want to get some of this oil or cream, whatever you're using today, and just gently start to massage this into your face. Lovely. Down your neck. Also, that's why I've got the shirt on, so I can get into my neck so you can see. Wonderful. Lovely. Okay. All the way. Now, as you can see, this oil isn't sitting on the skin surface. So I'm going to move my hair out of the way so you can see properly. Wonderful. Okay. Nice. Right. So we're just going to start down at the neck. So if you find your neck, I just want to invite you to do some nice effleurage, long movements down through the neck. Wonderful. Lovely. Okay. And if you take two fingers, find your collarbone and just go along through the collarbone out towards the shoulder and armpit. Okay, so this is a really, really good one to start getting some of this lymph moving through the body. Nice. Okay, and then you're going to repeat that on the other side. So again, going over that collarbone. And I want you to notice for yourself as you're doing this massage, as you're breathing in and breathing out, just allowing the heart rate to settle. Just maintaining that softness in the face. Wonderful. Okay. Then if you can go behind your ears and just swoop down and across the tops of your shoulders, just swooping down and across and out. Nice. Lovely. Okay, so warming those hands. We're going to start the middle of the forehead. Now, there are different ways that people like to massage. I personally like using the fingers. I don't like using the knuckles, but if you're used to using your knuckles, feel free. I prefer the fingers right in the middle here, and you're going to swoop outwards to your temples to start with. Good. Just really apply enough force that you feel you are not dragging the skin as such, but you can feel this movement over to the temples. Beautiful. That's lovely, Cheryl. I can see you following along. Nice. Lovely. Good. From the temples, just take your fingers away, and I'm going to do one eyebrow at a time so you can see. Use your index finger and your thumb and just pinch. That's it. Just pinch along. Make sure you've got hold of the muscle and you're pinching along your eyebrow all the way across to the outside. So from the inside. And you may notice there are tender spots as you're going along this muscle band here. Lovely. So as we're working through here, you'll notice, let's just switch sides and let's take it to the other side. It's interesting with face massage or self-care from an Ayurvedic perspective, then Abhyanga or self-care or self-massage in its various forms has been around for centuries. Face massage has been around for centuries. Different cultures, different ways, different approaches. The important thing is that you're actually doing it. So one of the questions about skincare and all the rest of it that people ask is, oh, what should they will spend an inordinate amount of money on skincare. And in my mind, actually, the most important thing is with most things in life, it's consistency in practice, having a regular skincare routine, just making that little bit of time for yourselves, to look after yourselves. That's a very nurturing experience. Wonderful. Okay, take 2 fingers and just this point right at the bridge here, just press in there and hold that for a moment, and just taking a few inhalations and exhalations here, breathing in, breathing out, inhaling, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, releasing there. And you're going to make small pressured circles as you work your way down past your nose. All the way, you can see my cheeks are already starting to warm up here. All the way past to your chin. Okay, back up to that point, small circles, all the way. Wonderful. All the way down. Let's do 1 more of those. Excellent. Okay, taking 2 fingers, placing one in that midpoint just above the lip and one below. You're going to pull along all the way up. Hold it there for a sec. Come back down. Okay, so moving along, pulling outwards. Nice. All the way up. Good. Let's do that 3 more times. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhale. Let's get 1 more of those in. Wonderful. Good. Taking hold of the chin, you're going to use your forefinger and your thumb, and you're going to hook at the chin and make circles, but you are actually pulling upwards towards the ears. So dragging along, pulling along all the way up, stopping there. Let's do that a few more times, all the way. Wonderful. 1 more. Nice. Really, really pull into this jaw. The jaw holds an enormous amount of tension. And actually, if you're someone who suffers with tension headaches, migraines, all of that, if you grind your teeth, for example, all of this is not doing your face any good. So massaging regularly the face will really make a difference. Make 2 fists, place them directly under your chin. Okay, you're going to swoop out and up. You can see I am being quite firm in this movement, swooping out and swooping upwards. Okay, wonderful. Remember not to hold your breath. One thing as a yoga teacher I've noticed is when people concentrate, they hold the breath. So learning to breathe and reminding yourself to breathe is really important. Wonderful. All the way up. 1 more. All the way up. Wonderful. Okay, and then just bring your hands down to the neck and swoop across. Okay, wonderful. Bring them down, swoop across. 1 more. Down, swoop across, and then just finish with some light fluttering. Okay, all the way. And if you start doing this regularly, you will notice a difference in your skin. in the texture, in the smoothness, and your face will feel far more relaxed at the end of the process as well. Okay, so that's just a gentle, simple self-care face massage. I'm just wondering how much time I have left now. Not very much. So I think I best actually tell you very quickly about our training programs. So there's a couple of big developments, which is what we wanted to share with you today as well. Aside from obviously all of the products, our training programs are going to be available in February. So if you're interested, then please, there will be discounts for IPHM members and anyone that's visited this conference. So if you're a practitioner already that wants to just use our products, feel free. We have got a special discount code for you. So I'll hold that up so you can see. So that discount code there is IPHM10. It expires on the 8th of the 2nd of this year. So that's for you to be able to try our products, buy our products, have a go, see what you think. Our website is www.yogamylife.co.uk, Instagram handle @yogamylife.now. So feel free to follow us, feel free to get in touch if you want to be the first to get involved with those training programs. They're online. So you can email us directly from the website. So we'll have a special rate for the IPHM members and practitioners, beauty therapists, people interested in using those products in treatment. But equally, you can start to buy products as you like. If we do have an issue sometimes with things actually just selling out. So if you have that code, we will honour you the products at that 10% off. It might just be a slight delay in getting them to you, but hopefully not. So anybody have any questions for me or anything that wasn't clear? I'm happy to elaborate on. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something.
Someone said, that was lovely, my face is tingling, and somebody else has said, this feels so good, thank you.
Oh, wonderful, thank you for that feedback.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Well, I feel I love the eyebrow massage.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and your products and that amazing technique. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. And it's been wonderful being part of the IPHM festival this year. And obviously you can go onto the website to find out more about the IPHM at iphm.co.uk. And we've loved participating and listening to the other really interesting talks, actually, learning a thing or two myself. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Farah.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop the Facebook live stream now.